Hi YouTube family, Stars of a Star here. Sorry it's taking me a minute to get back with everybody. I know I've had quite a few messages and things. People were concerned and things like that. And thank you all for your prayers and your support. So, beta was last Friday. I apologize for not updating then. I just needed to take a moment and absorb. So without further ado, I'll give everyone the results, and then I'll let you know everything after then. We're pregnant. Yay! Okay, so Friday I went in and I had my beta drawn and my numbers were 106. And at that point they kind of made another appointment for me to come back on this morning, just to be sure that they were doubling everything. And I just got the call a few minutes ago, and they did more than double. They are now 496, and that is 14 days past transfer. So my numbers are now 496, and they have me at 4 weeks and 3 days pregnant. And on next Monday I'll go in for a sono just to check the gestational sac, make sure it's in the right position, make sure it's a viable pregnancy, and to make sure that it's in the uterus. But I'm believing God, and I know that all will be well. Okay, so now I'll tell you how everything transpired. I had to get that out because I know when I watch videos, I always want to know first. You know, you tell me the details later, but I want to know what the outcome is. And I'm flipping through. I've been journaling everything. Okay, so the last time I came to you, I was in my 2 week wait, and I guess it was about 3 days past transfer. I was on the phone with my husband. I was kind of bored and lonely, so I called him at work, you know, and was talking with him. And I was on bed rest at the time, obviously. And all of a sudden, my heart started racing really, really fast, and I felt really lightheaded and dizzy. And it only lasted like 30, 40 seconds. I mean, it was just so odd. And I told my husband while we were on the phone, and he was like, well, have you taken any medication? And I said, no, I haven't taken anything today. I'm not sure what that was. So I called the young lady from church who's also my nurse at church. And she was just, you know, she was really like, wow, that's odd. She said, you know what, I'm just going to chalk it up to that's the baby snuggling in. And that was what I thought too. So we just kind of monitored it and was like, if it happens again, you know, we'll get it checked. But fortunately, it didn't happen again or anything like that. So on the 21st, these were some things that I noticed. Today is the 28th. So on the 21st, these are some things that that I noticed that I was personally feeling for myself. I felt bloated. I felt, saw that I had big blue veins in my breasts, and my breasts were very tender, which I chalked the tender breast up to being on the progesterone. But I noticed that starting that Sunday, everything I ate, everything I had just heartburn. It was just gruesome. And then I noticed that I was really, really sleepy. I was taking naps more than, you know, normally during the day. Of course, I was just really tired, always sleepy, things like that. So, because I made a note that it was 9:30 at the time that I was doing this journaling, and I was already ready to sleep. And which is unlike me, because I usually go to bed about 12:01, things like that. So those were just some things that I noticed. So on that Sunday after church, like I said, that Sunday I noticed that when I ate, I had heartburn, and so I was like, well, you know, I've waited this long, I'm just going to pick up a test and see. And the test came back with a faint positive, and I didn't, you know, get overly excited. I you know, thought, okay, well, maybe, you know, it's still HCG in my urine or whatever. And so I didn't really get too excited. It was a faint positive. So that following Monday, I took 2 more tests. They both came out faintly positive. So I was like, okay. So on Thursday morning, which was right before my beta was scheduled for Friday, so on Thursday morning, I took another test and it was slightly darker. So I was cautiously optimistic. So when I went in and had my beta drawn, and then they indeed did call and confirm that I am pregnant, I was ecstatic. So those were just some things that I was feeling that I wanted to kind of share. So maybe someone else had felt those same kind of things, or if you're going through IVF and you're getting ready to go through this process, those were just some of the things that I myself were feeling. Since then, like this morning, I put on a pair of jeans that I just wore last week, and I'm ashamed to say, but I could not button the jeans. And even my husband had been kind of, looking at me a little funny, because I told him, I said, I think my uterus is growing like really, really fast, because it's constantly cramping and hurting. And I know that for me, my doctor told me that I'll show sooner than someone who, per se, were having their first baby, because I've had 2 children before. So definitely will show a little bit sooner. I'm trying to think what else. So we're pregnant. How exciting. I'm so ecstatic about it. I'm so happy. I've constantly been praying that all goes well. I'm speaking life into my womb every day and just holding on to my faith in God that all will go well. We did finally tell our children on, this is Monday, so their father told them Saturday night. I got a little sick at dinner on Friday night and took off for the bathroom. And while I was gone, even though I thought we had agreed that we weren't telling anybody until I was 3 months, he broke and told the kids. My oldest, which is my stepson, he just kind of looked at his dad and was like, y'all are too old for that. But he didn't say it, but that's just kind of the look he gave his dad. My 13-year-old, which is just, he's so much like me, it's just uncanny. He is ecstatic. I mean, he is so happy. Now, my baby girl, she wasn't too pleased at first. She looked at her daddy and went back to eating, and he said she just had this look on her face like, how dare you? So she wasn't too happy, and I told my husband just to give her, a little time, because she's been the baby for nearly 12 years. She's 11. She's been the baby for a very long time, and so it's going to be something new for her. So we're just going to give her some time. She says she's okay with it now, and she actually seems a little bit more excited. So on yesterday, again, he surprised me after telling us at home that he wasn't telling anyone at church. He wasn't telling anybody. And, we do, I told you guys before, we pastor a church. And so at the end of service, unbeknownst to me, his response was, well, on next week, First Lady's going to have an announcement to make. And I kind of cut my eyes at him like, no, I'm not. And so he looked at me and smiled and said, oh, so you have an announcement today. And he called me I was already standing next to him, and he held my hand, and he said, okay, well, we have an announcement to make. And then, of course, he told the church, and everyone was screaming and ecstatic and so happy. So that's my update. And, yeah, we're coming up on 9 minutes now. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for sharing this journey with me. To everyone who's been watching my videos and commenting, thank you so much for your prayers and support during this whole entire process, during this 2-week wait. I'm really so grateful to everyone for all of your continued support. So rate the video, leave a comment. Yeah, we're pregnant. How awesome is God? That is just truly amazing. So I'm so grateful. Love you all. Take care. And remember, if God is for you, that's more than the whole world against you. Be blessed.